Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Sports Daddy TV presents There Goes the No Hitter. I'm your host, Big Chief Daddy, and we're here down to the final four teams in the MLB postseason so far. Let me recap you for a minute since we've been out for a while. The last time I did a video or a podcast was before my predictions. Well, White Sox are out. I lost that one. They got beat pretty easily by the Houston Astros. Red Sox knocked out the AL defending American League champion Rays. So then now they are fighting for in the ALCS, which is kind of ironic because Alex Cora managed the Astros, gets hired by the Red Sox, gets suspended for a year because of what he did with the Astros in 2017 after winning the World Championship in 2018 with the Red Sox. Comes back and now he's facing the Astros in the American League Championship Series. So we have that. After a thrilling 5-game series between the Dodgers and the Giants, the Dodgers survive, I guess I would say, on a questionable check swing call, beating the Giants in 5. So they will be playing the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves win 3-1 against the Brewers. So there's just a little recap of what's going on. Also, by the way, walk-off winner by the Dodgers to beat the Cardinals in the bottom of the ninth in that crazy wild card game. That's how they got to the playoffs. The Red Sox beat the Yankees, and wasn't even that thrilling of a game for being Yankees Red Sox. So let's get into this now. People are gonna be like, "Man, you got your Dodger gear on, so you're probably gonna talk all this about the Dodgers." We'll get to the Dodgers in a minute. We'll go game by game. First game I want to talk about real quick was Astros versus the Red Sox in Houston. Red Sox lose, Astros win 5-4. Houston, it was 0 for 7 with runners from scoring position and 9 left on base. However, they managed to squeak a game. They were well rested. The Red Sox had to play that extra game. So you could tell the way it was. Even the Red Sox, they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and they left 9 men on base. So I've noticed in a few of these games, the theme of this game is this podcast, I should call it left on base or runners in scoring position, because that's basically when it comes down to the numbers. So Red Sox fall flat. Houston wins game 1. We have game 2 versus Houston and Boston. And Boston wakes up. Boston hits 2 grand slams in game 2. They're up 8-0. Just like that. Boom. They win. They hold off. They win 9-5. They were 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but they had 2 grand slams. Boom. That's 8. That's 8-0 off the bat. They only left 6 on base. Astros were really flat in this game, but it's okay. If I'm looking right now in game 2, hold on 1 second. Yeah, the Astros only had 8 hits, and they were only able to score 3 runs in the 9th. But when you're down 8-0 in the first 2 innings, 2 grand slams in the first 2 innings by the Red Sox, it's already coming back 8-0. So, and then you got to remember, and then Kike Hernandez is having a great season. Wishing he was still in Dodger blue. But, so that's, the Red Sox did what they needed to do. They got the split. So they're going back home. They did what they needed to take care of. The series goes 2-3-2. They took the split. Now they're looking to win 3 straight at home. Call it a night. Okay. So now let's get to the American League Championship or National League Championship Series. I'll get to Game 3 between the AL and the AL American League in a little bit. Let me just talk a bit about these next two games that happened with the Dodgers and the Braves. Braves walk off in Game 1. So we're always wondering who's going to be a starter for the Dodgers in the first game. Well, it ended up being a bullpen game. They started Knebel. They had, I think they used 8 pitchers in this game. However, the story isn't with the who started the game. It's more the management position, and the Dodgers scored had 10 hits this game. They're playing their best pitcher. We used 8 pitchers in this game. Every pitcher went an inning. The only one that went more was an inning and 2/3, and that was Gosselin, who gave up the tying home run to let me check real quick. To I'm looking. Riley. Austin Riley. Remember that name. So he gave up the tying run, so they're up. It was 2-2 going into the bottom of the ninth. Now, this is crazy, because after the news we hear about and what happened in Game 2, let's go back a little bit. You use Matt Scherzer in Game 5 in the NLDS to close the game. They call it his bullpen day. Well, that stresses his arm out. So now he can't pitch Game 1. So now you got to go to a bullpen game. You lose that game. Okay. Max Fried is their best pitcher that the Braves have. So obviously it's all right. Bullpen versus that's a starter. We'll give you that game. They walk it off. Austin Riley. Big game-winning hit. But what I'm more concerned is Dodgers left 7 men on base. They are 1 for 8 in runners in scoring position, and it's like boom or bang. Bang or done with this offense all the time. Taylor, though, Chris Taylor made the biggest bonehead play, because I don't know how this ninth would have been. Bellinger had a great single into right field. Jock Peterson gets the ball, which obviously your first start, you're going to go to first or third. That ball, you can go to first and third. I know Jock Peterson was charging, but he's going to try to he's going to go to second base, because he does not want that second runner to advance to third, to advance to second while that ball's going to third. Chris Taylor gets deked out by Austin Riley. I know people didn't really say that, but how I looked at the play is Austin Riley put a position in third base to deke out the runner, act like he was getting a throw from right field. So Taylor stopped in the middle. The ball went to second. Swartzen turns around, and next you know, Chris Taylor's in a pickle. Tagged out. Riley over. Betts comes in. I know Betts was 0 for 4 that game, but you never know. Big money Betts would have, right? They bring in Tyron. He's a really good pitcher. Just can't hold base running on. They get a key stolen base. Austin Riley comes in. Game-winning single. Walk off. Braves win 3-2. Hey, we out hit the Braves. We just cannot score. But okay, fine. The Braves, technically we can say the Braves won the game that they should have won. But at the same time, the Dodgers could have had a chance to steal that game. Let's go to Game 2. Game 2 is Max Scherzer. One of the best acquisitions. He goes only 4 and a third, and I'm like, what's going on? Okay. I don't want to be a what they call couch manager. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch the game. I'm trying to enjoy it. So I say, okay, we're fine. No problems. We're we're decent. So you go from Matt Scherzer, and you're gonna bring in Vesera. Okay, for a lefty, he comes in, boom, good night, gets his does his job. Cali does his job. Okay. Tehran does his job. So my biggest thing is okay. So okay. Well, let's see what they do. They bring in Julio Urias, and I know he did great last year. I know he did great coming out of the bullpen, closing out some of the games. But remember, you were on a 60-game season last year. Arms aren't that tired. They played 162 games this year. They have to win one extra game this year to win the whole thing. So they have to win 12. Your pitcher's tired. Bullpen game. Well, guess what? In the bullpen, you don't stress out your arm. You're just working out some mechanics, getting ready. Keep your arm a little loose, but you're not having that overexertion as far as I need a pitch. I need to get accurate pitching. I need to make sure I pinpoint. Well, and you can work on that in the bullpen. In the game, you have intensity. Number one, you're on the road. Crowd's going crazy. You're up 4-2. They're gonna be. I know people. I've heard on. Oh, would you rather have Justin Brule or Julio Urias for the left-handers? I'm not about matchups. I'm old school. I would have put in Tehran. Kept him in. Make it 2 wins. I know he's been worked. But put him in. I don't believe in the starter should go into a reliever. I didn't believe Max Scherzer should have started to close that game, but it's also a Game 5 elimination, so all hands on deck. So when it's all hands on deck, so it's fine. But this is Game 2 of the world. Game 2 of the NLCS, and this is what you do. So naturally, he gives up the 2 runs. They were up 4-2. Dodgers only, after having 10 hits the first game, come out with 4. 4 hits, and somehow had the lead going into the bottom of the 8th. They had the lead somehow going into the bottom of the 8th with only 4 hits. Another game that I'm thinking, we're going to squeak this game out. We should be up 2-0, but we'll take the split going home 3. We'll take the split. Got 3 games at home. Well, another walk-off by the Braves. This time after Graterol flare broken bat single. Gets 2 outs. They bring in Jansen with the runner at second. Another walk-off. Questionable move, right? Why bring in Julio? Why don't you let Graterol? I know you don't want to lose a game with your closer in the bullpen. Well, if you don't want your closer in the bullpen, then you start your closer. You don't bring him in a pressure situation where one swing of the bat can close the game. Now, it was a ground ball, but it was a hard ground ball. Corey Seager should dive, get in front of that ball, try to pick it off his glove right into the outfield. Runner scores. Now, he gets in front of that ball and knocks it down. Maybe they get the guy out at first, but he knocks it down and that ball goes more to the right or to the left. That runner possibly could still score, but he might slow down because it didn't go through, so they might have held him. But Ron Washington might have sent him because he sent 2 guys home that I was like, I can't believe it in that inning, in that bottom of the 8th. But this is what happened. Roberts got stuck in a pickle, had to put in Scherzer Jr. in the right field, who doesn't have that good of an arm. Not like Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts had to move to center. So he kind of overmanaged. But, again, the Dodgers were 1 for 10 in Game 2 with runners in scoring position. So they are 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position. And they've left 17 men on base. You can't win. But they almost won. They almost stole game 2. They should be up 2-0. At least, very least, the series should be tied 1-1. But now look what happens. Max Scherzer doesn't tell me personally, I hear it on TV. He has a dead arm. He's telling reporters he has a dead arm. His arm was tired. He couldn't loosen it up. He told the managers and Dave Roberts and the pitching coach, hey, look, you might have to come get me. My arm's not loosening up. Why? Because he pitched 14 pitches in a pressure game in Game 5. Didn't have that rest. If he doesn't pitch that Game 5, Dodgers, I agree with people they're saying in AM 570. I listened. I believed in Matt Money Smith, what he was saying. All this stuff goes back to Game 5 because you messed up your rotation. I know it's winner take all, but you got the best bullpen ever in the league. And for my sake, lately I will take Kelly in the 7th, Blake Triton in the, I keep telling him, it's actually his name is Triton. Triton in the 8th, Kenley Jansen in the 9th. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Ball game. Especially with the 2-run lead. Now, just because it worked last year where you can use spot starters into relievers doesn't mean necessarily it's going to win. Remember, shortened season last year. No travel time. All the games are played in Texas. There's no different time zones. Jet lag. Jet lag is real. Okay. Now we got this game. Julio, come in. Boom, gives up the 2 runs. That's what happens in the games. Let's get into... So we'll come back and I'll preview Game 3 of the Dodgers and the Braves going back home. And let you know what I think. But some stats that came up to mind is this. Trey Turner is 2 for 9. This is the batting champion. Where is he at in the postseason? Mookie Betts, 1 for 7. Where's he at? Justin Turner, where are you at? I know you had a stiff neck, so you didn't play, but you had a good key. You had a pitch hit in Game 2. Corey Seager, for the love of God, I know you hit a 2-run home run in the second game. Could you stop pitch? Could you stop swinging at the first pitch? Stop swinging at the first pitch. Because if I had to take a shot for every time you're up, I'm getting drunk because I'm taking a shot on the first pitch. If I say I take a shot for every first pitch Corey Seager swings, I'm not going to finish this game. Every time you're up, shot. Take a pitch. Or I'm sober and I say I'm going to take a shot for every pitch Corey Seager doesn't swing at the first pitch. I'm going to be sober as a bird. So, let's go to Game 3 of the NL or the ALCS. And Red Sox. Houston woke up a sleeping beast because the Red Sox smacked them 12-3. And guess what? Another grand slam by the Red Sox. 3 grand slams. 3 grand slams in 2 games. It's like, I guarantee, I'm going to call it right now, maybe another grand slam in Game 4. Red Sox are on fire. Houston only 1 for 2 at runners in scoring position, left 2-1 on base, but they only had 5 hits. Red Sox 3 for 7 at runners in scoring position, left 5 men on base, had 4 home runs, and 1 was a grand slam. So, that series has become, other than Game 1, but just, like I said, maybe a little bit fatigued by the Red Sox. 9-5, 12-3. They're at home again tonight against Houston. Let's look at the pitching matchup. Zach Greinke versus, let me see this guy's name. Nick Pivetta. I'm going to say him. Who is 2 games in the postseason is 1-0, with a 3.12 ERA, 8 innings pitched. So I think they might be going a bullpen game because even this guy's regular season stats. Oh, and in his regular season stats, he's in 31 games. He was 9-8 with a 4.53 ERA. So it's kind of high, almost a 5-run ERA. This is the chance for the Astros to get back into this game. Who they have Zach Greinke, who was 11-6 with a 4 ERA, a little over 4 ERA, 120 strikeouts. This is the guy that they need to get Houston back in this game because they don't want to lose. They do not want to go down 3-1 with to be determined the greatest pitcher ever the next game. Kike Hernandez is on fire. It is funny to see how these ex-Dodgers are playing great. Verdugo's even playing pretty good. Jock Peterson had a big 2-run home run against Max Scherzer in Game 2 of the MLB Championship Series. So I'm gonna say somehow, some way, Houston survives in this game. They'll think they wake up. I still think there might be another grand slam in this game for the Red Sox, but if it doesn't come in early and they don't automatically go down, I think Houston beats them. I'll say 6-4, something like that. And I think Houston tries to make this a series, evens up the series into Game 5 on Wednesday. So let's preview the Game 3, Dodgers-Braves. Dodgers are back at home after a good night's sleep. It's an early game, so I'm trying to get this podcast out early as possible. It's a 2 o'clock game in the West Coast, 5 o'clock in the East Coast, which is great for me. I don't have to stay up till 1 in the morning this time to watch this game. We're going to have Charlie Morton versus Buehler. So we'll see. Walker Buehler's pitcher. In the postseason, he's 3-2 in his career. He's 0 for 1 in 2 games in this season, with a little 3.5 ERA, 9 strikeouts, 10 innings pitched. Let's hope he has a full day's rest. Charlie Morton is 0 for 1 with almost a 4-point ERA, only pitched 9 innings, 14 strikeouts. In his career, he's 7 for 4 with little under 3.5 runs, 70 innings pitched, 81 strikeouts in 15 career postseason games. So, if the Dodgers can find a way to hit this guy, they should easily win this game. And I won't say like easily as in a rout, but you have to jump. Give Walker Buehler some innings so he can't make a mistake. Let's hope Walker Buehler can go at least 7 innings today. Get stress off that bullpen so they don't have to pitch everything. Also, make sure the batters actually hit to get some stress off the pitching in general so they don't have to be perfect to precise, where if they do screw up, it's not going to cost them a lead. And whatever game plan they're working on, you have a semi-rested as far as games not playing, and let's come back. I know this team came back 3-1 against the Braves last year, but that was 7 straight games in one town with one time zone, different team. I would say if the Dodgers out-hit this team, they should easily win. However, it's a 2 o'clock game. Fans, hopefully, come on, fans, get there early. I don't know what the lineup looks like yet because it's not out. So I have no idea who's starting at first today. Right-handed pitcher, you would assume you would have Lux in center, Bellinger at first, Unless Lux is struggling, maybe you put Matt Beatty in that first, and you put Bellinger in center. That's the only switches I think they'll do. I still like Chris Taylor, his bat and defense. Trey Turner, I like his defense, and hopefully his bat will come up. But I mean, I don't unless you put Lux in at second and bench Trey Turner, and you put Beatty at first again, and Bellinger in center. Maybe you put Lux in for Trey Turner, but that's the batting champion. You're gonna bench the batting champion? I doubt it, even though he's having a struggle. Justin Turner, hopefully that neck is loosened up. As far as the Braves go, look, if you tell me the Braves are going to be this good, they win 88 games, they're up 2-0 against the defending World Series champions, and they don't have Osuna or Acuna Jr. And Freddie Freeman is having a bad series. Freddie Freeman in this series in game 2 is, let me look real quick, was 0 for 4 in game 2, and in game 1 Freddie Freeman was 0 for 4. So he's 0 for 8. But it only takes him 1 or 2 swings at a bat to get back into it. So you still have to watch him. And do me a favor. Dodgers, walk Austin Riley intentionally. They did that to us. They're walking Bellinger to get to Lux, Smith to get to AJ. And if AJ Pollock and Gavin Lux are popping up foul balls that get caught by the catcher or the third baseman, or swinging at balls in the dirt, then maybe they need to sit. So I'm hoping that it was tired and fatigue. They won't say it, but a 5-game series and wins with your rivals, and then get on a plane from California all the way to Atlanta, East Coast time, 3-hour difference. Play the next day. Get back on a plane. Go back home. Finally a full day's rest. A day and a half rest. Hopefully they did not pick up baseball. Maybe get some treatment. Fine. But relax, sleep in your own beds, spend some time with the wife, spend some time with the kids, spend some time just relax, take a mental break from baseball for 1 day. Come back today. It is 7 a.m. their time over there. Come in today around 9, say 9, 10 o'clock. I'm thinking maybe 9 o'clock call time. 10 o'clock. Stretch, and prepare. But took that day yesterday. Hopefully they took that day yesterday and just did some honeydews. Just relax. Then think about it. Go play golf. Go do something. Take 1 day off. Hopefully they took 1 day off. Cleared their mind and they come prepared today. And let's do this. I know they came back from 2-0 yesterday. 3-1 and 2-0. But that was last year's team. This is this year's team. The games aren't played on paper. They're not. It's about streak. The way the Red Sox got hot in that wild card game and carried momentum all the way through. That's what the Dodgers need to do. And Dave Roberts, trust your team. Trust your heart, trust your gut, trust your staff, trust your players. Reminds me of that scene in Mr. Baseball. He's not coming out. Let him. He's gonna let you sink or swim. Let him sink or swim. Baseball's won on a field, not on a computer screen, not on analytics, not on trajectory. Like they were saying, now that ball that Trey Turner hit that would have went out in how many parks? Still, like David or Tim Cates said on the Dodger Talk I was listening to, still F9, no matter where he catches it at. Don't worry about it. Go with your gut. Go with your gut. You guys should be good. So those are my thoughts as far as what's going on throughout the series. Depending on my schedule, I'll try to get a preview of the World Series when this is all done. But unless I get a break, if I can catch a break like I am right now, where I get a mid-game break tonight, like I said, this is going out right after Game 3 of the ALDS and before Game 3 of the NLDS or NLCS and the Championship Series. My bad, not the Division Series. This is going out before Game 3 of the NLCS and before Game 4 of the ALCS. So, once again, thanks for listening, subscribing. Once again, you can follow Sports Daddy TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on Twitch. Also, just search Sports Daddy TV, TikTok. And we have a nice day. And once again, go Dodgers.